How's all my wonderful How's all my wonderful friends and family doing today? I just wanted to showcase this character because aside from maybe the necromancer with his corpse explosion, I think this is probably the second best. You could probably get faster clear times with the corpse explosion because you actually controlled it yourself as opposed to a death sentry. But I mean, this is probably the best build for a lazy person, honestly. I just want to showcase this in cows real quick. Just showcase what's possible. I want to showcase this real quick. Even the tick damage when you have an infinity mercenary on this is really good. I need to put a different armor, but I was just swapping around merc gear so I can swap this gear back to my necromancer. Or the helm and the armor is what I usually use on my assassin gear with a Act 3 mercenary with Breath of the Dying and then a Medusa's Gaze. But I'm eventually going to put a Plague and a Medusa's Gaze on this character. But while I'm doing some farming, I figured I might as well throw Infinity on there, so my 8,000 lightning sentries do almost double damage. So I just lay those down. I mean, I can basically just stand around. I usually just throw one death sentry down and then a couple lightning sentries. Everything just does its thing after that. If I really want to teleport a whole lot, then I'll just swap, have spirit instead of my dual dream setup that I have going on right here. So I don't have a really bad ideally I'd have a +2 to assassin skills amulet, but this one does the trick for the farming. I don't need a better amulet necessarily. I could for like the sake of min-maxing, but for the sake of doing what we're actually doing, you know, just playing through the game, trying to get good drops, trying to get some cool highlights, trying to experiment with different builds, get new gear, whatever the case. Let's see. So their pulse damage isn't too crazy, but this is definitely better than the Act 3 mercenary. The Act 3 mercenary, even with Plague and Medusas, is not going to be quite as good as this, I don't think. But I think it's going to be cool to be able to have Plague in some type of sword. I don't know what I'm going to make it in, but I think having Plague, bro, you really did that. You really did that mid-video for me. Thank you. I don't even remember your name. Let's go find out what your name was. Pretty sure Emilio wouldn't do me like that. Emilio wouldn't do that to me.
Yes?
But, I mean, for the price basically of a sham rune, you're going to be able to get Plague. And then if you have like a Medusa's Gaze with the Hell Rune, Act 3 Mercenary is going to be kind of like a budget option for this build. Just because that lower res is not going to be constantly procced the same way that Infinity's going to always have that conviction aura going on. Okay, let me get to an actually populated area.
Impossible.
We really want an Eth mythical sword for... That's probably what we want to make Plague in, an Eth mythical sword. Just need one death sentry and we'll get it going. Maybe put one more down after everything starts dropping.
Thanks.
Get over here, sir. Mercenary's got a little bit of an ego. But I think in terms of like safety, in terms of clear speed, AOE, all that, I honestly do think the Necromancer and the Assassin are the best in the game. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe with less gear, the Sorceress is better. But I think once you start getting all your gear and everything together, I honestly think that the Assassin probably close second to the Necromancer. I think the Necromancer's arguably better. Just because you're not basically, you're in full control with the Necromancer. With this, you're kind of at the mercy of RNG of the traps. I can also use my Blade Fury and get pretty good damage. Let me get a Tal Amulet. Nope. Crazy Circlet. It's actually not bad at all. Wait, what's the level on it? Oh. What's that? If that was a low level, that would be pretty good. Level requirement kind of kills it. I feel like there's certain things where you're gonna have a lower level requirement that's gonna make certain items kind of way more valuable than if they were a higher level requirement. Like that +1 to skills is not really acceptable at that higher level requirement. It was just a bad roll at that point. It wasn't a matter of like, oh, this is the highest roll that it could possibly be at this level. So even though it's not crazy. Let me go show you the what's his name though. I need to just give this Bartux away. I don't even need it, honestly. Let me show you this guy, though. Just for posterity's sake, or whatever you want to call it. I like to run pits, ancient tunnels. House is alright with this character. It's not the best. I'm just gonna try to go straight to the pits. Alright. Now, Corpse Explosion definitely does a lot better when you have Infinity, but I don't really know if it's that much better, honestly. It's definitely not better against bosses, but arguably for, you know, crowds and stuff like that, Infinity's the way to go. But I think for, you know, just doing pits, just doing boss runs, I think you can easily get away with not really using all that. Plus, I feel like when you do Corpse Explosion, if you hit them with amp damage beforehand, you're getting more of a benefit from Corpse Explosion out of amp damage than you are from Infinity. Infinity's what, negative 80-something% to resistance or something? Corpse Explosion is negative 100 physical. So, you're actually, if you want to fight bosses and stuff, something like this, or having Beast, you know, you could do Beast and this. It depends on what are you farming for. Are you farming for, are you grailing? Are you going for runes? Are you just playing for clear speed? So clear speed, you just be going for runes, I suppose. If you want to stack a bunch of Magic Find, definitely feel like you could stack more Magic Find on a Necromancer than you could on an Assassin. But she kind of needs those trap skillers and stuff to really be super high end. Man, 6 socket. 6 socket non-F. And you unbending will is only in swords, right? Can't make that in an axe. That would be kind of cool in that Berserker axe, because I know it doesn't have. See how you kind of gotta do it yourself. I bet you there's probably even a strategy where you could zoom in, probably get a little bit more precise on the corpse explosions. But I mean, a lot of people don't play necromancers and assassins. I really think you're missing out if you haven't given it a go. I don't want to make this video too long. I think that I will actually just leave it unedited. Go ahead and throw it up. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of feel like I'm at the mercy of the YouTube algorithm. More so than anything else. More so than the quality of the video, title, thumbnail, content, any of that. And if anything, the title and the thumbnail is almost more important than the content. So I mean, all that said, you know, it is what it is.
Impossible.
It is there. Yeah, we got a tough guy over here. Oh, another one. Sword's not very great. It's false advertising. One of these days I'm gonna get a fucking... One of these days I'm gonna get a J mod and then... Probably not gonna trade it. Because everybody's so cheap. I see people trying to offer the most like unreasonable trades. Somebody earlier today was trying to trade a Talrash's armor for either a Death's Web or something else. I'm like, what kind of like delusional people play this game? Not to be offensive to anybody, but what, like, in what world is that a good trade? Somebody was trying to trade me a freaking a Herald of Zakarum for my Death's Web the other day. I told him I'll do it for the Haas. He was trying to give me a Haas and a goal. I said a Haas and 3 goals. He didn't want to do the trade. It's like, okay, I guarantee you that guy more than likely does not have a Death's Web in his possession unless he spent money out of his real life pockets. At this point in time, nobody's taking that trade unless he found him a sucker. Unless he found him a NBA player, NFL player, he didn't get him a hot fucking Death's Web. But yeah, this was just a little rant, just a little gameplay with these. These are basically my favorite characters right now. Probably the Assassin and the Necromancer. 2 very slept on characters, I feel like. Who will? If you don't, I would also say play with a try out a Whirlwind Barbarian. They did get a little bit better. They're still not completely fixed or whatever, But this is actually a really cool combo of weapons, Grief and then Azarath, because you actually don't have to stop to berserk in the middle of a fight. If there's physical immunes, this Azarath, you can just whirl through them, hit them with the cold and the magic, and it's actually pretty cool. Nice little utility out of that, and this would definitely be uber viable. You probably want to have like a life tap wand on swap. You could easily do ubers like that though. Probably want to, I would say maybe put a G face, but then again, you don't necessarily need a G face also with this. But yeah, everybody have a good day. I know this video went longer than I meant to. Drank a little bit more than I meant to. I'll catch y'all in the next one.